Hi, welcome to The Last Shelf, the second episode. On this episode, what I'm going to go through is two CD box sets that I got for my birthday last week, both by the band Killer. CD box set volume 1 is the Mausoleum years, 1981 to 1990. And box set number 2 is volume 2, Only the Strong Survive. Now, anyone that's unfamiliar with Colour, they were a band that started in the 1980s in Belgium, very heavily influenced by the new wave of British heavy metal, which can be told in the sound, and a lot of also blues rock mixed in there as well. Now, in the box sets, what you get in the first box set of the Mausoleum years, we get a booklet which gives you the history of the band Killer up to the year 1990. It also gives you some cool band photos and track listings and rundowns of the albums which are included in that box set. So the albums you get in the first box set are Ready for Hell, which was the first album. What I do like about these and the packaging on this is that these are a mirror image of what the album cover would look like. So not only do you get the front album picture, you get a breakdown of the tracks, and it's like side 1 and side 2, so how it would appear on an album. There is bonus tracks included on this album, which are mostly from, all from the Van Camp album, which was a solo album released by the singer of the band Shorty Van Camp. Now, that album is included in the second box set, so we'll come to that. We also have Wall of Sound. Again, the full track breakdown on the back, side 1, side 2, like it would be on an album or a vinyl, should I say. Shockwaves, and Shockwaves, that's back, and Fatal Attraction. I'll probably have to be careful with that album cover because it is a bit rude, shall we say. But what the 80s, early 90s would have been like for heavy metal bands, they would release album covers with, shall we say, quite racy pictures. The CDs are all like so. HD Recordings Limited. Try to do it the right way for you. There you go. So that's the first box set, which currently I've only listened to the first 2 albums out of that, which is Ready for Hell and Wall of Sound. Must admit, a couple of standout tracks on Ready for Hell. Secret Love, which is a standout track for me, and also It's Too Late as well. Them are the standout tracks on that album. Now there is another couple of tracks, but they're like bonus tracks, so I'll come to them when I come to the album. Now, box set 2, which is Only the Strong Survive. Now, this is albums from the late 90s up until the 2000s. Now, in this, you get a nice little fold out poster there, a band with various photos, and on the back, again, we get album breakdowns of the track listings and all the thank you comments and band comments that you would normally get on an album. And we also get a little history from the 90s up until 2000s at the bottom of this. So not only do you get the history up until the 90s with both box sets, you get up until the 2000s. Now, the albums you get included in this one is Broken Silence, that one, band photo on that. You get Immortal on there. Now, through reading the history on these two albums, whereas previously they never had a keyboard player, but when they reformed, they had the addition of a keyboard player, which gave a slightly different sound to these two albums. Now, a lot of the fans from the early colour didn't much like this. So with the third album in the box set, Monsters of Rock, they reverted to just being a trio, which was what they started out as originally in the 80s. So that's Monsters of Rock there, which is the last album. And this Van Camp is the solo album from the singer Shorty Van Camp. Now, this album, some of these tracks are included on as bonus tracks on Ready for Hell, right, in the first box set. Those tracks are From 9 to 5, Too Wild to Tame, Crazy Circus, and Chinese Woman. Now, the standout track from that, from what I've heard just now, is From 9 to 5, which I'll just double check in the because I don't want to get it wrong. So From 9 to 5 is Beethoven's symphonies. I'll just check. There we go. solo album from 95. Now, if this solo album, Van Camp, was intended as a full instrumental album in the vein of Malmsteen, Satriani, Vinnie Moore, Marty Friedman, Jason Becker, and Tony McAlpine. But the studio wouldn't agree to a full studio album, so to a full instrumental album, sorry. So he did some instrumental tracks and some vocal tracks. And so from 95, it's a medley combining Beethoven's 5th and 9th symphonies. Now, if you're familiar with them, you will hear the similarities in there. If you're not, then it's just a very good instrumental. But I'm sure when you do listen to it, if you do listen to it, you'll get something that'll trigger in the back of your mind to go, I've heard that somewhere before. And that will be why. So that's the 2 box sets I've got, which, like I say, I've only listened to the first 2 albums just now, which is Ready for Hell and More for Sound, which I'm partway through listening to All for Sound. So, and like I said, very good albums, very good band from Belgium. Started off as a power trio, and then in the 90s they added a keyboard player and extra guitarist, and then instead of an extra guitarist, should I say. And then for the release of the last album, Monsters of Rock, the keyboard player, they decided not to include on that one, due to complaints from fans and critics, which was the first 2 albums from the 90s, Broken Silence and Immortal, didn't sound like original Killer. So we'll see when I get to them. I don't mind keyboards in songs, in rock and metal bands. I don't mind them. I think sometimes they do add a bit of atmosphere and an extra background element to a lot of songs, especially seeing as like keyboards like my instrument of choice anyway. So that's it for episode 2. I'll see you again in episode 3, which I'll be going through my current collection or some recent additions. We'll see what happens this week. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and have a look for Killer on YouTube. You will enjoy them if you're into new wave of British heavy metal or blues rock or even proto thrash type of metal. You will enjoy Killer. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you next time.